Sale have played down fears that George Ford could miss the start of the Six Nations, despite the England fly half missing the club's trip to Cape Town to have treatment on a knee injury. The 30-year-old suffered minor ligament damage at the end of the Sharks' Premiership clash with Northampton late last month and was absent for the subsequent home defeat against Bristol last Friday. Now, Ford has remained at home instead of travelling with the Sale squad to face the Stormers in South Africa, in a Champions Cup tie on Saturday. Director of Rugby Alex Sanderson explained the nature of the injury but offered an upbeat prognosis, saying, "He didn't travel because he needs injections in his leg, in his MCL, medial cruciate ligament, to stiffen it up. I would have loved him to be here, but he just wants to do what is best for his knee, for us and for England, if selected, so he had 2 injections this week." When pressed on how Red Rose fans should feel about the situation, Sanderson added, "They'll be excited. They'll be very excited. He'll be fresh." It is understood that Ford could be released to play for his club against Gloucester at Kingsholm on January 28, in order to prove his fitness ahead of England's Six Nations opener against Italy in Rome on February 3. The veteran of 91 Test appearances has been regarded as the front-runner to start at 10 for the national team in the approaching championship campaign, but he is in a tussle with Marcus Smith to claim that coveted shirt. The pair are vying to fill the void left by Owen Farrell's decision to step back from England duties, to protect his and his family's mental well-being. While Sale expect Ford to recover in time for the Six Nations, Manu Tuilagi is currently striving to overcome yet another groin injury and is expected to be sidelined for the start of the championship. The club are optimistic that their in-form wing, Tom Roebuck, who is also eligible for Scotland and very much on their selection radar, will be called up to the England squad by head coach Steve Borthwick next week. Meanwhile, a war of words between the RFU and championship clubs continued yesterday over the union's plans to overhaul the domestic game by introducing a franchise system in the second tier. While the powers that be at Twickenham are pressing ahead with urgency, the Championship, having already voted against the proposals, issued another strong statement yesterday. It read, "We emphasized our principled objections to a franchise or selection-based Tier 2. Rather than seek to discuss these objections and others, the RFU has chosen to threaten us with effective relegation to the national leagues for non-compliance, while ignoring the unresolved questions on governance, commercial strategy, promotion, relegation, player welfare and the player development pathway." We have offered alternative proposals on the way forward to the board without response. The current RFU plan to present any recommendation to Council is extremely premature, until such fundamental issues are addressed and consensus reached so that the game can move forward via agreement rather than ultimatum. We would appeal to Council not to approve any plans for Tier 2 until our proposals are discussed in detail and there is full clarity on these fundamental issues.